Hello, my friends and fans, fiends of all ages and sizes, generations, come to me. Tell me your stories of mystery, mayhem, and magic, of when imagination was king and you played in the backyard, when you created stories of your life and their life with the toys of our life. Today, we are celebrating Irwin Allen. Irwin Allen was a TV producer in the early 60s, and he went on to make all those disaster movies in the 70s. He made a couple of shows that we're going to preview today. Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. That was the submarine sea view. And it worked on a rubber band in the middle there that's long gone, and you'd twist this around, and then that would make this spin around, and you'd play with it in the bathtub. And it would just go. It could also be played with on the land, and it was really cool, but it spun around. Now, with that came the amazing, I busted off the two ray guns here, but this came with it, and this was kind of like a flying sub, if you see those guys in there, and that could like go in the ocean, or it could fly around, at least I pretended it could. And then somewhere back here, you can see there's a bunch of glue and adhesive. I tried to adhere a back cannon so they could shoot guys that were chasing them. Didn't work very well. Here is a flying sub. Now, the flying sub was from the television show, and it lowered out of this part of the sea view, and it could fly around. And it was really cool. It could take them on all sorts of adventures. I actually played with this model. I'm amazed it's still in one piece. It had a platform and a stand, and you could have it standing up on your toy model case. And then let's go back to this series here. This series. These two were pieces of it, and it came with these cool guys. There were more of them once upon a time, but maybe you can see these were the undersea. God, they're both the boringest guys. They're like the minesweeper guys. But they were the undersea astronauts or aquanauts that came with the Sea View set. Now, granted, it wasn't all to scale, but what can you do? You're a kid. This was early 60s. Also with that set came the octopus. It's really fragile plastic, but it was pretty cool. There's another guy that's not here. I'll tell you about him later. Another couple of guys. And there was also kind of a backhoe guy that came with this series. Now, let's go on to the Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea card game by Milton Bradley. Now, I didn't remember playing this, and I just had to look at it a second ago. It was basically like Uno. You got red cards with numbers, green cards with numbers, and blue cards with numbers. And they've all got a different, I guess they don't have all, they're all the sea view. So there you go. It was like Uno for Under the Sea with Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. And that was a cool little card game with a nice graphic on it. All right. Now, I was digging in the crypts amongst the dust and the fluff. And here is, oh my God, I forgot the robot was in here. There was a thing called Switch and Go. Look it up. And it was a really cool thing. So you see this thing down here? You would lay out track. And it was all a little thin orange pipe. And this was battery operated. And this would follow the pipe all the way wherever you set the track up. And then you would use air to like change the direction of the pipes. And this little robot, who's being impossible to get out, he had a bottom with wheels on it, and you could attach him to the back here so he'd be dragged along. And this went on the top somewhere, like up here, and it had this missile, of course. And so this was called the Chariot. Now the Chariot was, oh, here's the little, see, there's my little switch on, battery operated switch. Now, Switch and Go, I loved. You could have this orange track running out through the whole house. And you could do stuff like, there was stuff where it would blow over and blow stuff up. And it was all air pressure. And you had these sort of like bellows that could blow stuff up. It was really cool. And it came out of the Jupiter 2. The Jupiter 2 was their space thing. And you'd have this park there and then turn it on. It would come out of their spaceship and go on adventures. And there was also a Batman set, and maybe I'll find that someday. Somewhere in a box here in the Crypts of SuperMonster City is all that orange piping, you might call it. See, I can't even get that guy in there. We'll put him in the back. So that is the Jupiter 2, Irwin Allen, Lost in Space. Now, I just found this model from Aurora. Again, Aurora was the model company back in the 60s that made all the coolest monster models. And that was one of the monsters from the show. There they all are. This came in two versions. This is the small version with just the people. The other version, I've got both, and it had the chariot there and the monsters menacing them up from the rock. But you know what I just discovered when I took this out of the box in the crypts? Oh my goodness, can you hear that? It is undone. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Start exploring the world of space around you. So this is a little PR thing so you can become a better scientist. But there's the really cool Cyclops monster. There's the rock that he's going to eventually stand on right there. And there's his Lost in Space. There's one of the people. Again, this is what models used to come like, and they were so cool. And just to give you an idea, so you would open up these instructions and you'd follow the directions with airplane glue, and then you'd stuff it all together. Sometimes my dad would use little rubber bands to keep them so they dry well. And then you'd paint it and put it on your shelf. And there was the other Aurora monsters, Dracula, Mummy, Frankenstein, and the Wolfman. And that was pretty darn cool. So there is our little Irwin Allen tutorial of adventure and imagination. He also did the Time Tunnel, Land of the Giants, and it'll come to me. But tell me about your memories of Lost in Space, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, Time Tunnel, Land of the Giants. What do you remember? What models did you play with? What bathtub toys did you play with? Dive, dive, dive. Anyway, that's enough from SuperMonster City. That's all one word now. Check it out, share it, spread it about, because this is where we celebrate the imaginations of our childhood, and we want you to be involved and bring your imagination to the cauldron, to the mix of mayhem. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.